All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back. 916 Podcast. Keith Joking Honest. Back here again with you. Another episode on the way. Like, comment, subscribe on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. My next guest is a person who really is, when you talk about Sacramento artists, very unique in his own right. Just dropped another project called Truck Month about a couple weeks ago, you'd say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so Machona Daytona, the leader of the Skirt. Hello, sir. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Skirt, beep, beep.
So, for starters, we got a whole lot of Mountain Dew here.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
you were telling me before we started that's your favorite drink.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I choose Mountain Dew over all the sodas. It's a man-made soda, so it's the best. It's lab-made. It's proven. Baja Blast in the can, you know what I'm saying? Just 'cause, I do it. It's Mountain Dew, not don't, so it makes you think I won't.
You're one of these people, I was talking about, I saw you perform at a little shindig a couple months ago. And I was like, man, this guy is crazy. And I didn't know at the time how I could find you. But now that I have, through some mutual friends and stuff like that, it's good to finally get you on here. I was going to say, the first couple of times I've heard you talk and perform, you are different. And I think that for any artist that's trying to make a wave in music, different is good. I think all the artists that are celebrated are all different. They all have their different situations. It's not the same. So, for you, do you go about that just trying to be different? Or you just like, you know what, I'm going to make my own lane, my own ways, just going to be who I am?
It's more so of just being who I am, you know what I mean? Like, I just find everything I love and like, and that's what I'm all about. I love Mountain Dew. I like NASCAR. I like going fast. Days of Thunder is one of my favorite movies. Yeah. It's more so of just who I am. You know what I mean? It's weird, though, because everything I like now seems like everyone else likes, which is great. You know what I mean? It's more than me. It's bigger than me. So it's about us. So, yeah.
For sure. So you're talking about NASCAR. I mean, obviously, a lot of your songs, your persona is based off of, like, car racing and NASCAR. Like, growing up, were you a big NASCAR race car fan, I'm assuming?
I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dale Earnhardt was definitely a big runner-up in my household. You know what I mean? Machona Daytona just came about, bro. Like, I used to go through a lot of different rap names, you know what I'm saying? Like, as an artist, it takes time to find your, like, balance on being comfortable, right? So, Machona Daytona just came about, like, I needed to put myself in the game, you know what I mean? I need to put myself in the bid. I'm starting my car, and I want to be number one. I want to be the Dale Earnhardt of the rap game, Beyonce of rap. Yeah, so that's what it's all about.
You're in the car, drive, put it in drive, and you're good to go, man.
Yeah, man,
Skirt.
Yeah, it's not about the road you take, but it's how you take the road, you know what I'm saying?
That's how you take the road. All right, I understand. So let's talk about this new project you just dropped a couple of weeks ago called Truck Month.
Yeah.
For starters, how long did it take you to come about making this, producing it? Just take us through the steps as far as, like, what it took for you to just, from square one to the final step to get this completed.
Man, it was a long process, bro. I mean, Truck Month is it's a
whole month.
It's a whole month, you know what I'm saying? It's every month, make Truck Month every day. I don't need a month. But it was a long process, you know what I'm saying? It took a while to get all the beats made or whatever. But shout out to 3D Smash, once he played them, you know what I mean? I just laced it and did it. It took a little bit of time because I wanted to come out with the right way, but it's fire. I love it.
For you, are you an artist that can easily just go into a booth or studio or wherever your thinking creative process is and just write down some lyrics and get some stuff done? Or does it take you a little longer? Is there any certain superstitions you go through to just get the music done and, write it out, produce it, sing it, perform it, things like that?
I mean, it's all about the chemistry, truthfully. I prefer to, like, work with someone I know and kind of have, like, a genuine bond with, connection. So then the music's genuine and pure. Forceful shit always comes out bunk, lame, trash. So, yeah.
What got you started in wanting to pursue music like this? I mean, was it a certain song you heard, a certain artist? Was it a certain wave that was started in a certain era? Like, what was it for you that made you say, you know what, I really want to pursue music like this?
I mean, music's all about expression, and it's the international language. So, I made in America, but built for the world. So that's what the whole stance is.
There you go.
I mean, music's been in the household forever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to have a song in your heart. And if it brings you joy and be happy, you know what I'm saying? Music just shows to be me. Yeah, like, I think if I was passionate anything else, like, I could be a doctor if I wanted to, but I want to be a rapper.
Okay, and here he is on this pursuit of the rap trail. No, you're good. So let me ask you this about your kind of music and when you find inspiration from.
Yeah.
I think everybody who pursues a passion as far as just like music. There goes the first Mountain Dew. I think anybody who pursues music, they hear a certain song or a certain genre or a certain artist, and they all draw inspiration from everything. You like in the rap game, there's always like samples.
Yeah.
People consistently sampling like movies and skits and things like that. Like for you, do you draw any inspiration from like certain artists or like certain beats or certain just melodies?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a fan of music, first. So the inspirations draw from everything. I mean, from watching old, wrestling clips. I mean, all the shit I loved as a kid. You know what I mean? Like that time when you were just alone in your room as a child, just playing, and you get lost, and you're like in your room for hours, and then you're like, "What the fuck?
What just happened?
What just happened?
How did I get here?"
Yeah. So like all that fun, cool shit that I grew up with and love. It's just all about it.
I mean, right now in Sacramento, it just feels like there's a whole bunch of, as far as music and art going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of fire shit going on in Sacramento.
Yeah, talk to me about that. Like, do you see like the wave where everyone is like trying to come up in their own lane, but they're doing it uniquely? Like as far as music goes, there's a lot of artists like that are just genuine and original. It doesn't feel like everyone's being copied.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, not so much.
Right. The cookie cutter mold is definitely broken. There's definitely more of a unique. There's no contract homes here in Sacramento for the music style. Like everyone's different. Everyone's has their own kind of build, and it's really tight to see. It's really good to see the collaborations. It's really good to see like the avenues in different lanes and how people are going at it. It's it's strategic. It's beautiful, and I'm glad that it's starting to really pick up the steam. I mean, being from here, you already knew it, but it seems like now like the outsiders outside of Sacramento and the world are able to see. So it's good.
Who are some of your favorite people in Sacramento that you've collabed with, or not even worked with, but just necessarily had conversations with, as far as like creative people that are doing what they do, and maybe you learned something from them, or draw inspiration from something they told you a while back? Like, is there anybody from Sacramento that you've had those conversations with?
Yeah. RIP to the GOAT, Dan Horace. You know what I'm saying? He was a big inspiration, person that like looked out for me, as a musician and a creator. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, Pulley, shout out, Luke, Slap God Almighty, World Coast, Schwag, Chu, Sush. I mean, everyone's like, doing their part, like everyone that you meet kind of like helps you along the way. And it's good to see when the love is like respected and reciprocated, and it's coming from a good place. I mean, there's a lot of fools out here trying to get you too. Don't get it wrong.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that, maybe.
Definitely, got to keep your head on a swivel, and understand who you're talking to. Mm-hmm. And, but if you're coming from a good place, if what you're doing is like genuine and again, with the love and passion, people see, and it's relatable, right? You can't deny the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's one thing for sure that Sacramento's taught me, and with the OGs and like people I've grown up with and who guided me in my transition of who I am now.
Do you think, like you were talking about that a little earlier, like, do you think obviously like, I've always told people this, like, I feel like, there's always going to be, for as many people as you consider genuine, who actually are trying to lend a helping hand, get you where you need to go, but also aren't in it for themselves. There's always going to be people that, will try to use you for what you have, what you bring to the table. Have you occurred circumstances like that?
Yeah. I mean, I remember before people used to think I was a user when really it was like, I'm trying to be like, have this thank you, you're welcome kind of relationship. A lot of people want, take things and whatever, but, it's more so of like, niggas still every day, straight up. Fools are taking and biting and snatching your steez from left to right, right? But what's great about it is that if you're the creator of the steez, then you don't have to follow the wave. You know what I'm saying? You are the wave. So as long as you have that confidence, you know what I mean? Like I wake up in the morning and I say my name like 20 times in the mirror. Like, Machona Daytona, Machona Daytona, you know what I'm saying? Just to get myself hyped. I slam coffee and drink Mountain Dew and gabagoo, It's just fast.
How much Mountain Dew do you think you drink per week? If you had a rough estimate, cans, ounces, like what are we talking about here?
All right. So I used to work at Fixins, right? Shout out to Fixins. Shout out to KJ.
Now, what were you doing at Fixins?
I was the expo. So I was like checking out the plates and everything.
Making sure everything was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the plate design. So long story short, Fixins has a Pepsi, soda machine. I brought Mountain Dew into Fixins, and that's a guaranteed fact. You can go in there right now and be like, how'd you get this Mountain Dew in here? They'll say, Machona Daytona.
Like you were bringing like cans?
No, like I talked to the Pepsi rep, I talked to Kevin, and we switched it out and we got it in this gun. We took out raspberry iced tea and we put Mountain Dew in there. So I kind of brought Mountain Dew to the P, even though they already had Mountain Dew, but you can go into Fixins and get Mountain Dew because of me.
But was there any like pushback maybe from the people who like the raspberry tea? I'm assuming not so much because no one gave a damn.
Yeah, no one was drinking it. It was just holding space, and I was like, Kev, let's get some Mountain Dew in here.
Let's get this done.
And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And then like I used to come in there all the day with Mountain Dew, like my own cans, my own bottles, and fools would be like, damn fool, how'd you get that Baja Blast in a can? Shh, limited edition, all my packs. And they were like, fool, damn. And I was just drinking bottles and shit. And they were like, can we get it here in the gun? And I was like, yeah. Talked to the Pepsi rep. Ooh-wop, shoo-wop, bang.
There you go. Some people collect sneakers. You had the plug on the Mountain Dew, so you were good.
I mean, yeah.
That's how it's done.
Different avenues, different strains, everything.
Has there ever been a situation you feel like where 60 minutes with Machona Daytona, the Mountain Dew revelation. Has there ever been an experience like at a job that you were working? Because I've always had this thought with like certain creatives. I mean, everyone has a 9 to 5. Everyone's put in the work. But was there ever a situation with a job where you were like, I need to quit this job so I can focus on this a little more?
Yeah.
Was there ever a revelation where you're like, I'm out, I can't do this anymore? Is it like the worst job you ever had?
I mean, I kind of have that with damn near every job. I mean,
who does it?
You know what I'm saying? Like after you work a certain place, like after the 4th month, or that 6-month period, and you're like, all right, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing here, man?
Like, the check's it's not the best.
It's cool. It's nothing great.
You know what I'm saying?
Helps the rent.
But I'm barely scraping. I'm still eating McDonald's. I'm still fucking, ooh-wopping. And you're like, what can I do to really... No one's going to pay you the way you want to get paid besides yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's just what it was about. So I was just like, fuck it. I started like flipping snacks, started rapping, started working in like, different avenues and ooh-wops. And then boom, said fuck the jobs. I'm going to pay myself.
I think every person who goes through a dream or a passion, I feel like, has that situation where they're flipping stuff on the side.
It's scary. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to be like, let me get this 9 to 5 and these little Benny whoops and like, have this like, cookie cutter kind of schedule day to day. This music life in industry life in general, being an entertainer, anything you want to do, like our hours are different, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go to the studio like hella late. Or like I'm just up till like 6 or 8 in the morning watching Martin.
Is that your favorite show?
I mean, it's one of them. You know what I'm saying?
If you had to rank like the top 5, would Martin be like 3 or 4?
Martin be definitely on the top 5.
Okay.
I can't give it 3 or 4. I mean,
all right.
There's a lot of shows.
Okay. Yeah. So for you mentioned going to the studio.
Yeah.
When you first started doing that, because I always want to talk to artists about this, like your first couple of experiences in the studio compared to now. If you had like a time machine, you could just go back and be like, okay, this is what I thought it was going to be like when I first was in a recording studio. It's definitely not that. So don't think that. Like, what was your first kind of revelations when you were in recording studios, producing like your first kind of demos or tracks?
I mean, dog, to keep it true, bro, I'm coming from like a closet. You know what I'm saying? Like
you were doing stuff in the closets.
I was doing stuff. Pause. You know what I'm saying? No sus, but yeah, I was, we had the MacBook, you know what I'm saying? You and your boys, you know what I'm saying? Whoever, you scramble your change together, buy a little ooh-wop mic at the Guitar Center, flip on some GarageBand, you know what I mean? Play with the things, and you just experiment. And then from there, the progression shows, and, the studio equipment gets better. It's not always trash. Yeah. But starting from like where I began to like where I'm going now, and this, it's a big flip, you know what I'm saying? But it just shows from hard work, hard work pays off.
Yeah, and then I think the other part of it that a lot of people, never bring up, but I think you can learn a lot from somebody, when you're watching them on stage and how they carry themselves, how they're performing, and I think that's one of the things that when I was, when I saw you the first time, I was like, he's got a lot of energy. Like for you, do you make it a point to like, whatever you're doing, just go 100% out, balls to the wall when you're doing them?
I'm here to put on a show. I'm a fucking entertainer. I'm a Machona Daytona 500, the Black Jake Gyllenhaal, the Pomegranate Pomeranian.
The Black Jake Gyllenhaal? What does that consist of?
Everything. I mean, I want it all. That's what I mean. You know, the Days of Thunder, the tornado spinning in the 360. Yeah, I'm a full. Yeah, I try to like put on a full show, like have dancers, choreograph ooh-wops. I mean, one time I tried to have like a fire, like sparklers.
You try to have a full ass fire, or is like fireworks?
Like
there's a difference.
I had a can of WD-40 and a lighter.
What?
Yeah.
I want to hear this story. Pause the first question. I want to hear this story about this. So you had a can of WD-40 and a lighter.
Yeah.
And you were gonna do what?
I was like on stage and I was like doing my spiel, and there's like downtime, and I was kind of winded.
And where is this taking place at?
This is like outside. This is outside.
Oh,
this is before COVID too, ladies and gentlemen. This is like
okay.
Way
so it's
before.
not an indoor facility.
Nah,
okay,
nah.
You played that right. Okay.
Yeah, I was smart enough. So yeah, I was just in the backyard. Excuse me.
No good. You're good.
And I fucking had the WD-40 in the lighter, and and they were like, "What?" I mean, truly, you know what I'm saying? This is my first time really like fucking with it. Like I didn't practice before, you know what I mean? I was just kind of like geeked on the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And I was just ready to rage. And because like when I perform, I try to put on a real show, you know what I mean? I definitely want to the stage presence is there, you know what I mean? Definitely want to capture the audience and, have you going home, be like, what was that guy doing?
He was playing with fire on stage, man.
What was that guy in the shades in the NASCAR suit? Yeah. Like, skirt, what? That thing is tight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to be like, yeah, Machona Daytona is nice.
Well, I can imagine, like, for you, there always is going to be, like, a situation where, like, in anything you pursue in life, talking to you about in this aspect, where it's like there's going to be people at first who, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, fuck with the movement. And then don't fuck with the movement.
Yeah.
Like for you, when you were first starting out, I can only assume like there was always going to be like critics.
Oh, Oh man, people.
How bad was it when you were first starting out?
People didn't take me serious. People didn't like. I don't know. Honestly, like you have these questions in your head, right? Like,
yes.
Damn, is these niggas that much better than me? Like, what? So and so's like big name star comes in town, and so and so's opening for him. And you be like, you look at the bill and you're like, wait a minute, was my name even considered? You know, like how can I put my ball in the lottery? So, yeah. So at first niggas wasn't taking me for real. Like they thought like I don't know, like they knew I could rap. They knew I had like style, but they just didn't know how to box me, right? Yeah. I was a wild card. I still kind of am. I mean, I've definitely miled down from what I used to be, but yeah.
So let me ask you this, like, from how many years in the game would you say you've been in now officially?
I mean, I think I busted my first tape out like in 08. I was in a group, Project 4 Trees, and we busted our first tape in 08, did a few runs, opened up for Tyga, did a few shows, opened up for Kendrick Lamar, and then like I kind of like life happened, creative differences happen, whatever, shit. People separate. And I took a minute off, and then I kind of got back into it, and then that's when I birthed Machona Daytona. And I was like, I need to revamp my whole style. Like I was still making music, I just wasn't putting shit out. And I just wanted to revamp my whole style. And I was like, for my solo joint, how do I want to be perceived? And I'm like, yeah.
Do you think that for you it was easier or harder to branch out from that group and form your own like persona? Like how long did it take you until you were like, okay, this is what I'm gonna roll with now that I'm on my own? How long was that process?
I mean, you kind of gotta like fight the man in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? Go through those like chambers and to be comfortable, to be solo and be up there now, You kind of like experience it with the group, but then not all the eyes are on you. So now it's like more creative control. So you have no one else to blame but yourself, right? You can't really point the finger. It's just like more so of like pointing at yourself. So yeah, I mean, it's just about taking yourself and then going through it. But yeah, I'm glad for the decision and all these trials and tribulations I went through to get here to where I am now, because it makes a better story.
So you started in 08 and now we're in 2021, so about 13 years.
Yeah, give or take. Give or take. What I'm saying? Slipping and sliding, moving.
What's the one piece of advice you would give yourself if you could go back to '08 to now, that you've learned more than any?
Change your name to Machona Daytona. Fuck all the bullshit. Players gonna hate. And check your flags. I think those would be the 4 things I would say. Because, you know, when you're going through it, dude, people hate, and then you, like, start doubting yourself. So, like, fuck all the bullshit. Stop doubting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Do it. Make the plan. Draw it out. Thunderstorm. Bam.
And there you go.
Yeah.
What do you hope to gain in 2021 as far as your career goes? I mean, obviously, you just put out this new tape, this new project. For you, I mean, obviously, with quarantine in the state, likely not going to be able to perform in any spaces. And, you know, given the way things have been shaping up with now, with like the way people have been going out in public and in the city and everything that transpired this week, I mean, if you try, you're fucked either way.
Yeah.
What do you want to gain out of 2021 in a year that's likely going to be, you know, like it was the majority of 2020, where it's like you're shackled as far as what you can do, what you can't do in public, and you can't go out and tour, you can't go out and do shows. Like, what are you trying to gain?
I'm just gonna record my life and like turn it to a whole fucking video, and just like Truck Month's like, I don't know how people are receiving it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I made it, like it's definitely different from my other music. You know? It's definitely me more putting on like this like Dolomite from like Rudy Ray Moore perspective. You know?
Yeah.
You know, forming myself into this character, like turning to The Rock from Dwayne Johnson. And yeah, so I mean, definitely I make more content, and then I'm gonna push this shit to like, I believe I can blow up in the middle of America right now. Like I feel as if Indiana, I feel as if like, yeah, Chicago,
all the Midwest states,
all the
basically.
Midwest states can really fuck with your boy.
All right.
And you know, it's definitely from Northern California, so it's all about the slang in the game and the whole verbiage. You know, that's what we're just all about. You know.
Are you ever one of these artists where you go and check your stats ever, like on Spotify or Apple, like, or do you just like, you know, whatever happens, happens. I don't care.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I definitely check. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then.
It's like, who does it? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they send you your stats, so you kind of have to check. And it's good to, you know what I mean? It's like if you're a player, you want to go over film, right? You want to see what's going on, who's listening to you, you know what I mean? How can you reach out and where you're reaching to? So yeah, I definitely check out the numbers. Yeah, let me crack up another Dew.
Okay, we need another Mountain Dew for this. Okay, cool.
So that was the Baja Blast. Let me get this Frostbite right here.
Okay, so this is a Frostbite Mountain Dew. Now, why is this one different than the Baja Blast? I mean, shout out to Taco Bell.
Well, I mean, yeah. So
my girl likes the Baja Blast at Taco Bell. She does that all the time when we go.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing it right if you don't go to Taco Bell and leave with the Baja Blast off top.
I had tried it the other night. It was great. I like the freeze though. The freeze is
fire.
Yeah.
The freeze is fire. Nah, but you know, when you get it in can, like this is, so they don't really make this in can. So this is like hella rare right here. But the Frostbite, this comes out. This is like one of the better ones. So like there's like the Code Red, the Voltage. You know, there's so many flavors. I mean, you guys might think I'm crazy with all this Mountain Dew obsession, but like I believe there's a flavor for everyone. There's so many flavors.
Everyone's got a Mountain Dew flavor.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Dew Nation. You know, it's Mountain Dew, not don't.
Okay.
Why not do it? Aren't you a doer?
This is gonna be like Popeye when he hits the spinach can.
Yeah,
and it pops out there.
Like, aren't you tired of not coming in first place? Aren't you sick of being a lame? Drink some Mountain Dew. Change your game up.
I'm gonna take a note of that.
Change your game.
2021. I'm drinking nothing but Mountain Dew.
You know
I'll become one of the greatest reporters that ever lived.
You know?
Because I drink the Mountain Dew. So let me ask you this. This has been great. We got to do this again sometime again. Final question. 2021, I already talked about what you want to accomplish, but if you could sum it up in like a couple of short words, what is it going to be? What's the outlook for you going forward in 2021?
2021, Flexomania with the next installment. More collaborations, more everything. I'm contemplating on moving to Vegas. You know,
just because.
I mean, it's the entertainment capital. You know, guns are legal. Guns are cool. You know, they legalize weed. You know, everything's tight in Vegas. It seems like. Shout out to the Raiders. But no, 2021, man, it's just gonna be a good year, man. I'm cracking more Mountain Dews. I'm having more laughs. It's more checks to get, more cars to drive. the world is mine.
All right. The world is his, and his new project, Truck Month, is out now. Go stream it on Spotify and Apple and all that.
Yeah.
Machona Daytona, the leader of the Skirt. Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. Come back. We'll come back anytime. We enjoyed ourselves. We'll crack up more Mountain Dew and tell more illustrious tales. Machona Daytona, 916 podcast is done.
Yo, man.